Could a single $20 decision change your entire financial future? Watch how one small step of faith turned financial struggle into freedom. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. Let me take you back for a moment to a time when the weight of worry pressed down on me every single day. My financial life was a complete mess, and it felt like there was no escape. It was 2025, and every day felt like a battle just to keep my head above water. I was living paycheck to paycheck, dreading the sound of the mailman's footsteps and the bills he brought to my door. My stomach twisted into knots just thinking about money, and the anxiety never seemed to let up. I'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, as numbers and unpaid balances raced through my mind, making sleep impossible. Debt wasn't just numbers on a page, it was a constant, heavy stress that seeped into every part of my life, affecting my mood and my relationships. I was irritable, couldn't enjoy a simple dinner, and felt trapped in a cycle I couldn't break. Debt steals your peace and makes you feel like you're in a deep hole with no ladder, no way out. I was tired of being a slave to the lender, tired of feeling helpless and powerless over my own life. The shame was the worst part. I felt like I'd failed, like I was letting everyone down, including myself. I saw others moving forward, building their lives, while I was stuck, running hard, but getting nowhere, always falling behind. Every small expense felt like a crisis. A flat tire or a broken appliance could throw my entire month into chaos and uncertainty. I was always juggling payments, deciding which bill could wait, and which one absolutely had to be paid to keep the lights on. This is no way to live. Always reacting, never getting ahead, always feeling like you're one step away from disaster. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, worn down by the constant pressure and fear. I knew deep down that if I didn't make a change, I'd be stuck in this exhausting cycle forever, and I couldn't let that happen. The moment that changed everything wasn't dramatic. It was desperation in a grocery store aisle. I had to put back a jar of peanut butter because it was 50 cents over budget. Standing there, I realized I was done living this way. I was working hard but had nothing to show for it. My money was controlling me, not the other way around. That day I decided to take back control. I walked out with a new determination. I was going to declare war on my debt. I didn't know how, but I knew I had to start. My why was clear. I wanted freedom. That evening, I sat at my kitchen table, surrounded by bills, but this time with a battle plan. I couldn't keep doing the same things and expect a different result. I needed a new strategy, a roadmap. I was willing to do whatever it took to find one. The pain of staying the same was finally greater than the pain of changing. That was the turning point. I was ready to fight for my future. My search for a roadmap led me online, where I found myself diving into a world of financial advice and resources I'd never really explored before. I spent hours reading about how to get out of debt and how to create a budget that actually works in real life. The message was clear and repeated everywhere I looked. You need a written plan, a budget, something concrete to guide your decisions. I used to think a budget was a straitjacket, something that would only make me feel more trapped and restricted. But as I learned more, I realized it's really about telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Then, as if on cue, I saw an ad for a simple personal finance book. Just $20, promising to break things down, step by step. For someone who just put back peanut butter at the store because money was tight, that price tag felt huge, almost impossible. My old self screamed not to buy it, warning me that every dollar counted and I couldn't afford mistakes. But the new me, the one desperate for change, saw it as an investment in my future, not just another expense. What was the real cost of staying stuck? Sleepless nights, constant anxiety, and the looming threat of a future chained by financial bondage. Compared to all that pain and worry, $20 suddenly seemed like a bargain, a small price for hope. I took a deep breath, silenced my doubts, and clicked buy, feeling both nervous and excited. That single click was more than a transaction. It was an act of faith, a declaration that I believed a better future was possible for me. It was the first time I'd ever spent money to improve my financial situation, rather than just survive another day. Before, my spending was mindless and reactive. This was intentional, strategic, and filled with purpose. This was me taking the very first step on a new path, one that I hoped would lead to freedom. Armed with hope, determination, and a $20 charge, I was finally ready to face my finances head-on. That purchase was more than just a book. It was a commitment to change, a promise to myself that the journey had truly begun. A few days later, the book arrived. Simple, clear, and practical. The first task: write down every dollar I spent for a month. I grabbed a cheap notebook and started tracking. Every coffee, every lunch, every little purchase went in. At first, it was tedious and awkward, but I'd made a promise to myself. 2 weeks in, something shifted. Seeing the numbers in black and white was eye-opening. I was shocked at how much I spent on small things. Where I thought I had no money, I saw it leaking away. By month's end, I had a complete, honest picture of my spending. It wasn't pretty, but it was real. For the first time, I felt a sense of control. I wasn't guessing anymore, I had data. That book didn't just give me information. It forced me to confront my habits. It held up a mirror, and while I didn't love what I saw, I was grateful for the clarity. The fog was lifting. I finally saw where my money was going. That small step changed everything. I was ready for the next move. With a month of spending data, I was ready for the next step, a zero-based budget. Every dollar of income got a job before the month began. I sat at my kitchen table with my notebook, bills, and pay stubs. I listed my income, then planned my expenses in advance. The 4 walls: food, utilities, shelter, transportation, came first. After covering essentials, I faced my debt payments. Seeing how much went to lenders fueled my motivation. I cut backpacked lunches, made coffee at home, canceled unused subscriptions. The first budget took hours and tough choices, but when income minus expenses equaled 0, I felt powerful. For the first time, I had a written plan for my money. It was my plan. I was in charge. That $20 book gave me the blueprint for a new financial foundation. The budget wasn't a restriction, it was freedom. I finally felt hope. I was building something real. The cycle was breaking. I was moving forward. The first months on a budget were tough. Old habits fought back hard, temptations everywhere. Friends invited me out, but I had to say, it's not in the budget. It felt isolating, and doubt crept in. Unexpected expenses like a car repair tested my resolve. The old me would have reached for a credit card, but I pulled out my budget, looked at my goals, and remembered my why. I wanted freedom and peace of mind. Instead of debt, I found a way. Cut groceries, sold things I didn't need, paid cash. It was hard, but I stayed on plan. That victory proved I could do it. The budget wasn't a prison, it was a tool that gave me options. Every challenge I faced and overcame made me stronger. The voice of doubt got quieter. Hope got louder. I was building financial discipline. Each day, I grew more confident. The struggle was real, but so was the progress. I was changing, one decision at a time. I was finally in control. That book also taught me the debt snowball. List debts smallest to largest, pay minimums on all but attack the smallest with every extra dollar. Once paid off, roll that payment into the next debt. I listed my debts: a small store card, a credit card, a personal loan, and my car loan. My first target, a $500 store card. I threw every extra dollar at it. Money saved from lunches and coffee. In 3 months it was gone. Making that final payment and cutting up the card felt incredible. That win freed up $50 a month, which I rolled into the next debt. The momentum built, the next debt fell faster. Paying off debt became a game I was finally winning. The snowball was rolling, getting bigger with every payment. Each win fueled the next. I saw real progress. I was on my way to freedom. Fast forward a couple of years, my life is completely different. That $20 investment paid off beyond my dreams. I paid off all my consumer debt, every card, every loan except my mortgage. I am debt-free, the weight is gone. I sleep through the night. The mailman brings only junk mail now. My finances are a source of strength, not stress. I still do a written budget every month. It's a habit that keeps me in control. Without debt payments, I built a fully funded emergency fund. A flat tire is just an inconvenience, not a crisis. The change is more than financial. It's changed my outlook on life. I'm more generous, able to give and save for the future. My wife and I are a team, dreaming together. We're not just surviving, we're thriving. It all started with a small decision to invest in change. If you feel trapped and buried in debt, hear me. There is hope, even if it feels impossible right now. You are not alone in this struggle, and things can get better. Your situation isn't permanent. You have the power to change your financial future, no matter how overwhelming it seems today. It doesn't take a finance degree or a big income to start making progress. Ordinary people just like you have turned things around. What it really takes is a decision, a moment where you say, enough is enough, and a commitment to change, even if it's just a small one at first. You don't have to leap. Just take one small step forward. Every journey starts with a single action, no matter how tiny. Maybe that's buying a book, finding a budgeting app, or tracking your spending for the first time. Even a simple list on paper can be your starting point. Whatever it is, start now, with what you have, right where you are. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It rarely comes. The journey to financial peace begins with your next decision, and every step you take brings you closer to freedom. There will be challenges and moments you want to quit. You might feel discouraged or frustrated, but that's normal. In those moments, remember your why. Write it down, keep it visible, and remind yourself daily of the future you're working toward. Let your why fuel you when things get tough. Motivation comes and goes, but your purpose can keep you moving. You are stronger than your debt and your past mistakes. You have the ability to overcome and create a new story. You can do this. I'm living proof that change is possible, no matter where you start. Millions of others have done it too, and their stories began just like yours, with a single step. It's not complicated. Live on less than you make, even if it means making small sacrifices at first. Create a plan, stick to it, and celebrate every win along the way, no matter how small. Get out of debt, stay out, build wealth, and be generous with what you have. Your life can change, and you can help others too. For me, it started with a $20 purchase and a decision to change. Now it's your turn to take that first step. Make the decision, take the first step, and don't look back. Your journey starts today. Your future self will thank you. It's time to start winning, and your new chapter begins now. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here is the bonus tip that we promised. Sometimes the hardest part is simply taking the first step. Even a small action, like investing $20 in your financial growth, can create a ripple effect that changes everything. Start where you are. Momentum builds after you move.
The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.